Hey there guys, what is up? It's me, Sano here, back with a video again. Actually, a funny story just happened. The one that I uploaded earlier, if you were actually watching or waiting for my channel, the video that I uploaded earlier was actually really a funny story because I actually didn't change the scene, so it's just black screen. I already viewed the abilities of Gwen here, and I already talked about it, but I guess I'm gonna record it once again because I'm too lazy to edit. So let's get on with Gwen, the Howled Seamstress. So first thoughts on Gwen. She's really cute. She looks like a doll. I'll go on with her splash arts later, as well as her skin. I'll talk about it later. So Gwen abilities here: snip and through your enemies with Gwen, the Howled Seamstress, and her abilities. It'll be my scissors and my pleasure. So passive, 1,000 cuts. Gwen's basic attacks deal bonus on hit damage based on the percentage of her health. Basic attacks against champions will heal her for some damage dealt. Now, I said in my original video that her passive is really interesting to note because it says it damaged on percent of her health. So that means she might be possibly a bruiser top lane or maybe a full tank top lane. That could be the possibility. It depends on her AP ratios as well as her AD ratios. But so far, her this is the only ability that has a health ratio on it. You know, just like a tank would usually have on his or her ability. So 1,000 cuts, really nice, really good, really good passive. It's basically a DP, just a buff on her passive, just like with Oriana. You know, Riven maybe her passive. It's kind of the same, but yeah, basic attacks will against champions will heal her for some of the damage dealt. Basically, as a sustain in her lane, and would probably cement her on the top lane or maybe even the mid lane. But yeah, so basically she has good sustain and as well as crazy amount of early game damage if she hits all of her attacks. So she might go for Conqueror, probably Conqueror or PTA. So as far as I'm sure it's gonna go yeah, the yellow path or something. So her Q snip snip. Q is snip snip, where Gwen rapidly snips her scissors between 2 to 6 times, dealing magic damage in a cone. At a minimum, Gwen will snip twice, adding one snip per hit per basic attack Gwen landed on the enemy, up to 4 to 6 times. Enemies in the center of the each will take true damage as well as the bonus magic damage. So basically, this ability is just like the W of, um, W of set, where the middle will do true damage, and the other sides will do physical damage. But in Gwen's case, it's gonna be magic damage. If I'm not correct, if I'm correct, yeah, it's gonna do magic damage. So basically, this is her spam ability with the Q. As at minimum, it will snap 2 times. So what happens is, I think she's gonna have a stack on her Q that's gonna be around for maybe a limited time. So once she hits one auto attack, he automatically gains one stack, which in turn will have 3 Qs. So she will have 3 snips ready, and it'll stack up until 6. So yeah, I think it'll not be forever on her, the stack. I think it'll just reset for a certain amount of time. So yeah, let's view the ability here. So that's one basic attack, two a basic attack, three a basic attack, four basic attacks, and GQs here. So basically, if you stack it to around 6 or more times, 4 times or more, it'll automatically be like so fast. So basically, you get the Q 6 times. That's the explanation. So her next ability is one of the huge abilities. I have never seen an ability like this. This is so broken. Hollowed Mist. So let me read it to you guys. Hollowed Mists. Gwen spins up a hollowed mist around her for 5 seconds, gaining some armor and magic resist in it. Enemies outside the mist cannot target Gwen or hit her with any abilities. The mist will move to follow Gwen the first time she tries to leave it. Basically, that's just so basically, this is a Xin Zhao ulti on drugs. So if in Xinjiao's ulti you can't get damage from anybody that's outside the circle, but it doesn't stop the abilities outside the circle. This, however, in Gwen's circle, everything is like nothing. You cannot target. She's basically invincible within that circle. And she also gains armor and magic resist, which is an Olaf ulti, I guess, as well, in one ability. So it's a Xinjiao ulti as well as a Olaf ulti, which is gonna be huge because this is basically a cancel for all of the ability. Let's say it's like the W of Orn back then, you know. Holy shit, this is gonna be huge. He's gonna be really huge in the competitive scene. Let's watch the video of it. That's W, so she doesn't get CC'd there, right? So that means if Viego was inside the circle, she could have gotten CC'd. Like that. So yeah, she got CC'd there because Viego entered the circle. So the interesting thing to note, this thing is around 5 to 6 seconds or 6 to 7 seconds, depending on how if Riot was gonna change it. So basically, it's just gonna follow her, and if she tries to leave it for the first time. So there's like an invisible circle here. So if Gwen just moves a little bit, the entire circle would move. So I think that's how it's gonna work. So really huge move. Holy crap! This is gonna be so broken when she comes out. Skip and slash. All right, let's pause the video. Skip and slash. Gwen dashes a short distance and empowers her attacks with increased range, speed, and on-hit magic damage. For 4 seconds, attacking an enemy during this time refunds 50% of the cooldowns. The ability's cooldown. So basically, this is a buff E. I don't remember who has buff dashes. Still trying to remember which champion has a buff where you get a certain amount of buffs. But yeah, basically, this is a very really broken E as well, because if you auto, let's say the ability is 8 seconds, you auto attack once, it's down to 4. How much more if you have like a lot of cooldown ability haste on your champion? So basically it's gonna be like 2 seconds. You can spam this ability at level 16, 15, 14 maybe. It depends on how you build. um it depends on how you build Gwen as well as how she builds. So let's watch her video here. So this is her dash. So she gains the her, in short, her max range is gonna be like Rakan's auto attack range. So it's basically that when she dashes, and yeah, it has more damage in short, increased range as well as on hit as well as attack speed. So that's gonna be cool. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I think the cooldown on her ability is she dashes first here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So her dash, I think it's around 12 to 14 seconds, roughly around that, because she is immediately after that. But who knows? It might be lower. Really huge. So her ulti. So this is very interesting to note. Her ulti is Irelia's ulti way back when. If you guys were around season 5, season 4, season 6, maybe I don't remember when. Irelia was reworked. Basically, this is her old ulti. Okay, so Needlework. Gwen can cast Needlework up to 3 times, but needs to hit an enemy within 8 seconds to unlock each subsequent cast. Each cast fires needles in a line that deal magic damage, slow enemies, and apply Gwen's 1,000 cuts bonus damage. The first cast fires 1 needle, the second will fire 3, and the final cast will fire 5, for a total of 9 needles and 9 applications of 1,000 cuts to enemies. So basically, if you're full tanking Gwen, you're gonna do a lot of damage. Unless there's like AD ratios on it and AP ratios. Who knows how Gwen builds, because Riot hasn't released that yet. That part of her information yet. But let's view her abilities here. So just like how I said in the abilities, so how I said it in the previous video. See the stacks? Those are 3 stack needles. Once she ultis again, she's gonna gain 5 stacks, and in turn gonna have 5 more So basically, it's Aurelia's old ulti, but this time it's gonna be better. I think there will be. I think there's no slow here. Is there a slow? It's just basically just that. It's just an ulti. It's gonna be a DPS ulti because you can't. It doesn't have any CC. It's just basically pure damage. So that basically sums up Gwen's abilities. So let's go through it once again. Really quickly. Passive Thousand Cuts gonna be some huge on hit damage for her in the laning phase as well as her sustain in the team fights and in the laning phase. Her Q, which is gonna be her main ability, is gonna be a spam ability, especially if you hit all of her auto attacks, which will actually complement her E, which is gonna be a it's gonna give you a little bit of range. So I think it complements to each other, so you can have some more stacks on your Q because you have a longer range, so you can hit champions more frequently. Her W is gonna be so insane because of her invulnerability to a lot of foreign CC, just like Viego's W. Especially basically every CC that's like very that has a long range. So maybe any ulti you can dodge it theoretically as well as any Q. So yeah, that's about it. Her W, her E, of course, is a buff. Is a dash. It's just like Lucian buff, Lucian E, because you can get refund if you hit a champion in time. If you, just once, you can actually get 50%. It's basically a Nautilus Q if you hit the Nautilus hook on a wall. It's basically like that, but instead of a wall, you're gonna hit a champion with an auto attack. And her ulti is basically Aurelia old ulti, if it's gonna show. So let's talk about the looks, which is the important part of the champion. Gwen looks cute. She is really cute. I think she's a doll. I believe doll that went to life. That X on her eyes really signifies that she is a doll because do you know the cross stitch when you put a button on it? The button stitch. There we go. I think that's how it signifies it. Her scissors are astral, makes her really from the Shadow Isles, and her I have no words to say. This is one of the cutest skins that I have seen in a long time. Look at that. Look at those little pets. I don't know if they're poros or alien poros. But yeah, really cute. Especially the jelly theme. It's so cute. Even her hair is jelly, her dress is jelly. Even her scissors are jelly, so it's really gonna be cute. I might be buying the skin if I have enough cash in my wallet. But Space Groove Gwen. So that okay. So the name is Space Groove Gwen. Gwen is gonna come out with the NASA skins, the Space Groove, basically the NASA skin, the Rebel skin. Basically, every Yordle has skin there. Nunon Willem as well as Samira, I believe, is gonna get that skin as well. So yeah, I think that's about it. That's all the things that we need to know about Gwen. Gwen is gonna be, I believe, gonna be a top laner. She's gonna build a bruiser just like Camille. Possibly, she could also be a tank. She can be flexed to a tank, and she's gonna be flexed a lot into the mid lane because of her abilities, which complement. So, I don't see her in the jungle as well in the support. Not yet, I guess, because she doesn't have that much CC on her. She doesn't have that much CC on her. She doesn't have a stun, so she's not gonna be valuable in the support. Probably. Probably she won't be valuable in the support because she has no CC. However, her abilities really point to being a top laner. Like, seriously, I have not seen a more definite champion for the top lane, but she can be flexed to mid lane. But overall, she's a top laner, and she might build tank. I think she won't build tank. She's gonna build bruiser, probably. And yeah, I think that's what I thought. Great skin, great splash art, generic name, but yeah, that's about it. See you guys.